So just as a clarification of purpose, there's no prescription here, there's no dogma here, there's no religion here, there's no you have to be like this and you have to do your life like that. There's no prescription here. What we're doing here is we're awakening something very sacred in ourselves, which has become dormant through the process of life. It's become dormant through the process of life because the process of life is a process of negative reinforcement. We are living a process of negative reinforcement continuously. Negative reinforcement, negative reinforcement. What does it mean when it's negative reinforcement? It means that there's something that's continuously um, prescribing to us that somehow we are not good enough. Somehow we are not meeting the grade. We're not measuring up. And there will be people that will tell us, morning Tika, there will be people that will tell us that. I wonder where Sonia is so that she can just take her cam off. So that I can, okay, we'll just go here. Active cameras, there we go. And so, right. So if we look at the fact that we don't want to subject ourselves to a space that's going to give us more negative reinforcement, tell us more how we shouldn't be, tell us how we mustn't do things. That's not what this space is about. Welcome to this space to energize the being and the body so we can adequately deal with reality as it is presented to us every day in our everyday life. We are called to energize now, all of the time. Because if you are not, just like your cell phone, if you are not going to charge that battery of your cell phone, you are not going to be able to use it. And your body is no different. So, again, I'm saying to you, energize. That's all we're going to do this morning. To be offered invigoration so abundantly that it's all around you all the time. All you need to do is to receive. And when you are offered invigoration so abundantly, you are requested to contribute. You must be present. You must give your attention. Give your attention. You must share your focus. And you must offer your awareness, not only to yourself, but to life, because life needs you right now in order for it to be able to function. It's under huge pressure from everything and everyone in order to deliver. Negative reinforcement. There isn't enough. Negative reinforcement. Worry about the future. Negative reinforcement continuously. So when you when you sit here with me and I thank you for your presence, I experience your presence. It's how I do my work. And that's why you can be off cam, because I'm experiencing your presence. This is a space of consideration. Consideration for the good that is you. So look at your own history. Let it support your value, the value that you represent in every single moment that you breathe life. So right now, talking about as we breathe life, breathe through your body. Breathe. Let your breath just feel again like you're really breathing. Not only when you're exercising and you because you're pushing your body. We're still going to talk about that as well. But breathe through your body and begin to be aware as you breathe through your body. Be aware of your feelings. Be aware of what you are feeling in your body. Let it, and then simply just let out the sound. Just, like when we've done it, when we've done something and the job is done, and we just go, like that. Excuse me. You see, I'm also letting out the sound in the form of a cough. So the body always obeys, because a sound can be anything. So there we go. We breathe through the body and you begin to be very aware of your feelings. What are the feelings that you walked in here with this morning? What are the feelings that came with you into this space? Be aware of those feelings. Not right or wrong, not I shouldn't be feeling this, not by now I shouldn't go through this anymore. There's none of that. Because when you are looking at who you truly are, it doesn't have such judgments. Because where your greatness is, there is no such judgments. There's only beingness. So when you let out the sound, like when you've done a job, you know, I'm these days I'm making a sound all the time while I'm doing the job. You know, it's to get the job done. So the body knows to make a sound, because when you make a sound, it makes it easier. So begin to see now, as you do this breathing, and as this breathing is like you're feeling it literally, just normal breath. And you feel that breath goes right through your body, which it actually does, but we don't think about it like that. So just feel that breath go and through your whole body. And then you begin to become aware of the feelings that you came here with. And then you just, again, so every now and again, just let out the sound. It's just like, even if you're sitting with people and I think that you might be a bit dotty for the noises that you're making in front of the screen, really okay. Make some sounds. And then you begin to see a brilliant light right here in your heart center, sort of this area here. I always call this the diamond, you know, this area here. It's like a diamond. So taking from here to my fingertips and down to my navel, and it's like a diamond. So in this diamond, you just feel this magnificent, brilliant light at your heart center. And let that light just radiate through you. Let that light be like the breath, like it seeps into the darkest places where the most negative reinforcements wants to hang out. You're not good enough. You're a failure. It's too late now. Nothing's going to work. You know, everything's against you. Look at this country. What's going to happen to us? Where's this all going to end? All of those dark negative reinforcements. Let this light that you've switched on here, which is the most sacred, most beautiful, most divine, most whatever adjective you want to use. This light is pure. It is pure in every respect. No amount of darkness can ever penetrate this light. Never. Never. So now shine this light. Begin to see this brilliant light at your heart center and let it radiate through you. Radiate. Let it radiate through you and beyond into the world. Let it fill your field of vision. Let it go far and beyond what you even can imagine this morning. Fantastic. And then let's give permission, because there's already some technical interference here this morning. So please just know that if anything should happen, we can all just switch off, just come back into the screen again. It's really okay. But what I do want you to please see is that you are here for value. And whatever comes in this space to actually stop us from experiencing value. So if my camera stops working and you can still hear me, I just please would like you to inform me and just keep me abreast that you can still hear me. So I will also keep my phone handy in case you can't reach me on the screen. So please just let me know from time to time that you can still hear me. That will be great. So let's continue. Let's dismiss all that negative reinforcement. Right. So I'm going to start by asking you this question first this morning. What is inner strength? What is for you in your life right now? And if you've heard the question from me before, because I do ask it periodically. If you've heard the question from me before, really okay. What is inner strength? Inner strength starts with a knowingness, a respect, and an honor. It's a dignity that you hold. It's an honor. It starts with respect and honor for the energy that you, the value, the energy that you exchange with the world, your contribution, and the results that you deliver. So at present, it is my choice and truth that where I see this exchange of energy, where I see that it's not forthcoming, I will request it. And I now ask. I have no exception anymore. And I have no expectation anymore. If I see that it's necessary for me to ask so that it can be corrected, trust me, I do. And I do it fearlessly. Before, for my entire life to date, I meekly accepted what was offered me and I didn't ask. And when I did have to ask, it was a terrible experience for me. Negative reinforcement. If you ask, they're going to say no anyway. Or if you ask, you'll be rejected outright. You're going to be disapproved of when you ask. No. Negative reinforcement. No. Now I stand in my worth. I stand in my worth because matter is where we put our trust in this world. You must understand that. Everything is tactile. Everything is about the matter. What we can hold, what we can own, what we can call ourselves. This is mine. That's what it's about. Everything in this physical reality is about ownership. It's about ownership and territory. In nature, ownership is territorial, and in the human reality, ownership is I own this. This is mine. And in order to own things in this reality, normally, you have to incur debt. Because if you're going to buy a property, you're going to have a bond. It's debt. So it's a debt society. So matter is where we put our trust. And look how it's put together and how we relate to that matter. But it's always about something having to be tactile. That's why it's so difficult for some people to even think of having a spiritual journey, which is a complete dichotomy, because your whole thought process is a process of energy. Your brain is constantly firing synopsis. It's got nothing to do with it being new age when you mention the word energy. It's actually quite comical to see how this cynicism and skepticism on a subject can show itself. So where do you find your freedom at present in life? What is it that you do that offers you your freedom? Because freedom of the soul, because you are a free spirit, you are your consciousness cannot be contained. They've been searching for years and years and years and years and years, the scientists and the astrophysicists and you name it. They've been searching for years and years, and even at CERN in Switzerland, at the Hadron Collider, they're searching for consciousness. They want to know what consciousness is, but no one has yet been able to establish it. That's who you are. You are something that cannot be determined. It cannot be defined. It cannot be described. It's consciousness. That's the only word that we can assign to it. So where do you find your freedom at present? In this context that I'm giving you to look at. Matter is where we put our trust. I've just shown you why I say so. And we exaggerate the things that matter. We think and we exaggerate. We attach value to things that really is of no significance. It really doesn't matter. And let me tell you, in the great cosmos, at the level of quantum physics, at the level of atoms and quarks, and where our entire photons, where our entire cosmos is created, matter does not matter. We chase it through negative reinforcement. We chase it, the illusion of certainty. and you want to be certain, and you want to know for sure, and you want the guarantee, and we chase the illusion of certainty. Now we are forced into, in the new normal. The earth has changed significantly in the last 3 years. In this new normal, we now are forced, we don't have the option anymore. We are forced to accept the certainty of illusion. Not the illusion of certainty. We are forced to accept the certainty of illusion, that it is an illusion. Where is yesterday? Where is the years gone before? It all, even people that we love, that have departed, that have shed this body. Look at it. It's as if that life was an illusion, as you can't touch it anymore. I heard someone say yesterday, my father died. I can't send him a note anymore. I can't send him a letter. I can't send him a WhatsApp. It's the most terrible thing. And then the master was describing and saying, but it's not. Because ultimately that's all that you are. You are not your body. You are not your body. And you are not going to stop being. Your consciousness can never ever begin, middle, or end. That's not subject. The beginning, the middle, and the end is a matter thing. It's how matter functions, not you. Worry does not guarantee us security. Worry is the most profound negative enforcement. It does not guarantee you security if you worry about something, that it's going to make sure that you're going to be able to do or not do when you get there. You can never determine what you're going to do tomorrow before you live in tomorrow anyway. Doesn't matter how you plan. Sometimes the plan works out, yes, but most of the time it never happens the way you think. I ask you the question again. Where do you find your freedom? Where do you find peace? By what method are you currently giving yourself this relationship with matter? By what method are you currently giving yourself this relationship with all the things that you are surrounded with, being the physical world, reality as I refer to it? You use judgment, pure judgment. Yes, I like it. No, I don't like it. Fuck you. Come to me. Love me, love me, love me. It's either the one or the other. And there's almost always, and always is a superlative, there's almost always only two that you choose from. This one or that one, this one or that one, this one or that one. That's the amount of options that you give yourself. Through negative reinforcement, through your relationship with matter. And then you identify either the one or the other. It's either this one or that one. And that's how you see. Because now that gives you your perception. Because this is how I'm perceiving this thing. And your perception is mostly created by the behavior of others. How interesting is that? Whether someone is present, whether they're not present, whether they're approving of you, whether they're not approving of you, most of our environment that we refer to as matter is made up of the behavior of something. Something must behave. Technology must now behave. It's determined. My efficacy, my relatedness to matter is dependent on how this physical reality is behaving around me. So now what I'm inviting you to see is that when you go into this judgment, then you start believing, then you start assuming, then you start expecting. Because obviously what you see is going to give you this belief, uh, 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 and now you start worrying because now you got to put in the contingency and you got to prepare and you got to stress and you got to challenge this problem and all generated by the beliefs. And if you look at the word belief, how is it spelled? Be-lie. You're being a lie. It's in the word belief. And if you use the last two letters VE, you can actually just add LI in front of it. Be-lie life. You're belying your life, belief. So then that belief now determines your attitude. Oh boy, and your attitude. Where does your attitude come from? Oh, and the attitude is now heavy, and the attitude is depressed, and the attitude is overwhelmed because look at my matter. Look at all the things that are surrounding me. Look at how all the people around me is treating me, and how I'm forced to deal with life. Negative reinforcement. You were forced as a child continuously. No, don't do that. No, you can't do that. No, don't go there. How do you expect yourself today as an adult to think differently? It's a negative reinforcement that's instilled in you. That's how your system functions, through your thoughts. Because your thoughts are happening in your head. You're not thinking them. They're happening in your head. And they are constantly warning you, and they are worrying, and they're reinforcing, and they're giving you all this negative reinforcement, and they're judging, and they're full of criticism. The thoughts that are happening, they're skeptic, they're full of cynicism, they're complaining about the state of the world and all the load shedding, for sure. And that's bringing the feelings. Oh, now the feelings is, it's a waste of time. You're in despair, you're despondent, you're giving up, what's the use? The feeling of the most predominant feeling, of course, is fear. Oh, because what is worry other than fear that you're not going to manage? Huh? Now, if you look at your own life, didn't you always manage today? Somehow you make a plan. And is it you that make the plan, or is it life that actually is looking after you because you are important? You've always been looked after. Even sometimes you don't even know how it could possibly be because everything just felt completely lost, and now it's the end. Remember? Beginning, middle, and end. And that's where you base your choices, and that's how you make your decisions. Because now to find freedom, to get away from here to over there, where I'm not going to have to deal with this matter. What's a fallacy? The matter that's here is also over there. This whole place is about matter because that's where we choose to relate. And then you jump from here to there, and you jump from here to there, and you jump from here to there, and you jump from here to there. And what is it that you miss out? This most important place here in the middle that you keep jumping over. And that is the freedom, which is the present moment, where you can be aware, where you can really look at what's going on. Not your relationship with matter, because now matter needs to tell you what's going on. What's mattering around you must tell you what's going on. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You must now push yourself. Look at your thinking. Oh, I must push myself. I must now this. I'm here, but I must be there. And I must push myself so hard that I somehow just elevate. I jump from here to there, like a big locust. The bloody thing jumps, it doesn't know where it's gonna land, it's got no direction. And that's the knee-jerk impulse. I must jump, I must push myself now, I must jump from here. I can't stay here. and I just launched myself. Where to? How far? Where am I going to land like a locust? You know what swarms of locusts together do to an environment? But we have all become locusts in our own way. That's why there's so many around on the earth at the moment. Ah, I must push myself. How far? How far must you push yourself? Where do you want to land as a locust because you got no direction? You just want to absolutely leave from here because you must get there. But you don't even know really what there is. What is there? There's what is not. It hasn't happened yet. And then you sit when you launch yourself here, and when you get there, you have one hell of a big expectation of what it's going to look like over there. But you don't even really know what that there is. But you've already decided what it's going to look like. Look how you miss out the processes, because it's a chain, people. It's a chain. It's like this chain I'm holding in my hand. It's a chain. This chain consists of different links. You can't have one link, miss one, and then another one, and miss another three, and then have another one. You're going to break the chain of life, and everything is connected. That's why we refer to it as a chain. It's not necessarily a physical chain, but everything in this world, in this matter, in this universe, in energy, in the cosmos, is connected. It doesn't sit separately, even though there's only space when you get to atoms, at the level of atoms. It still remains connected. That's what baffles the scientists. They call it dark matter, they have string theory, but they know at the level of knowingness that everything is connected. Yet we can't find out how. The connection is the consciousness. The connection is this thing that cannot be determined. Now you must push yourself because of all this negative reinforcement and the stuff that you're engaging in every day for whatever reason. Now you must push yourself. How far? I want you to put your feet on the floor right now. I don't know where you're sitting or where you're lying. Put your feet on the floor. Because to get there, to move, to get somewhere, to get anywhere, you've got to have steps. You've got to have footprints. Nowadays, you wear fancy watches that tells you how many footprints you made today, how many steps, how many times did your sole of your foot touch the floor, touch the ground, touch the earth. How many times did you leave a sole print where you are walking instead of negative reinforcement? Where have you been? Where have you been? Where are you going? Where would you like your footsteps to go after today? What would you like your footsteps, the sole? That's why it's called the sole of your foot. The soles of your feet. I want you to now take your, put your one foot on your knee so that you can rub your own foot. I want you to start with your left foot. And I want you to just rub your foot. The top, the sole, especially touch the soles of your feet. When last have you really cherished and loved and touched the soles of your feet? Your feet is the thing that keeps you standing up. Wouldn't that be where your soul would be? In the place that keeps you standing up? Huh? I think so. Because it's the source that keeps the river flowing. It's the soles of the feet that keeps the movement of the body to engage with matter. Look at your footprints this past year. Huh? Look at your footprints this past year. Where have you been? Where are you going in this new cycle called 2022? Where would you like your footsteps to go from here today? Keep massaging your foot. Now choose the other one and rub your foot as well. Just rub, and you don't have to do it, but I suggest that you do because it's going to be very valuable for you to do it. Just feel the sole of your feet. And then I want you to pull your toes, like just like, with your thumb and your index finger, you just sort of do this to your toes, each one. Just let them hang like that on each toe, your foot. And then you just open the tips of your toes. When last have you opened the tips of your toes so that the rubbish can flow out the bottom? That gravity can pull it out of your body energetically. The shit, the negative reinforcement is like a magnetic energy that sits in your body. Because it's magnetic. It attracts shit. So let today in this process, when you've opened your toes again, when you've nourished your souls, and I'm encouraging you to do it often, especially when you feel washed out and that, it's just sitting on top of your head. Go rub your souls. It's good for you. Be in touch with your soul. Everybody always asks about life purpose, life purpose, life purpose. Purpose is only a way of movement. Purpose is only a way of how you move through life, how you put yourself in transit as flesh, as a form. Flesh is material, matter. It's matter. It's a form. Most things alive, it's made up of flesh, through which energy flows in the form of blood or in the form of sap, in the form of water. But it's fluid. Purpose is only a way of movement. Everything here moves. Right now in your body, there's trillions of things that are moving. The greater the paradox, the closer you are to the truth, because truth speaks to you, speaks beyond me. The I right now, the I in front of you, truth speaks beyond me. This is how I'm showing you awareness. I'm showing you awareness beyond the I. Beyond the I. Because you're so much more than matter. And what is the I? It's this thing. It's the matter. That's the I. But the self, the soul, the consciousness, something altogether different. So let me ask you this question this morning. What are you working for at the moment? What are you working for at the moment? Why do you have a job? And if you don't have a job, what are you still working for? Because we work every day. We work at something. That's why we say, I'm busy. You can only be busy if you're working. Working at something. Even if you're making love to someone, you're working. But working at something, your body's working. There's nothing else that we escape unless we are in a state of working. Something must be working. My fingers, my feet, my hands, my eyes, my tongue, my body, my stomach, my heart. Otherwise, if it's not working, problem. Same with your car, same with your cell phone, same with your washing machine, same with any single thing that you use in your house. Same. What are you working for at the moment in your life? Why do you have a job? Because you want to give your life meaning and purpose by having a job. You want to make a contribution to life. You want to be self-sufficient. You want to dance to the rhythm of your abundance. After all, abundance is a bun dance. What is a bun? Your butt. Your butt must move. A bun dance. That's abundance. When you can dance through life, dance to the rhythm of abundance. Participate in the creative flow. If you're not going to be a participant, don't expect to be part of the game. The game can't include you with its abundance if you're sitting on your ass and you're not even dancing. Receiving my highest good. Receive your highest good effortlessly. Give permission. Give permission for things to function well. Give permission for life to bless you. Give permission to be pleasantly surprised. Why not? Who else gives permission in your life but you? In here. I have to constantly repeat and say, you are not a small child anymore that is in a flow of negative reinforcement all the time by some authority that you are subjected to. You are now an adult, and now your relationship with this process is different. You're not a helpless child anymore. You are self-sufficient. You're looking after your life. You're taking care of yourself. And it's the most wonderful thing to see how the numbers of self-sufficient women is escalating in society, because it was never like that. Women were not allowed to be self-sufficient. No. Women were not empowered and were not allowed to be able to look after themselves. And now, why do you have a job? To achieve a claim. What does it mean to achieve a claim? It means that you are appreciated and you are appreciated and you are recognized for the value that you deliver. That's what it means to appreciate someone. You're telling them, thank you. You are blessing me. You are adding value to my life. I appreciate it because I'm benefiting from it. It's giving me more than what I had a minute ago. You're giving me stuff. You are giving me energy. You are giving me wisdom. We need to be able to exchange that energy with each other. It's called equal exchange of energy. But nobody wants to know these things, because how dare you ask me? How dare you tell me? No, thank you, because perhaps I am overlooking something. Thank you for caring enough about me to tell me the truth. Because if you trust someone, why in the world would they tell you something if it's not going to be for your benefit? Job always means to you that you must push yourself. That's what we relate to job. I must push myself. This is my job. And therefore it means pushing. Push, 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 push. How far? Job does not mean push myself. The one thing I can do for the rest of my life, whether I get paid for it or not, is, what is that for you? I'm asking this question of you this morning. The one thing I could do for the rest of my life, whether I get paid for it or not, is what? Because that's how I feel about what I do. That's what I feel about sitting here with you today and telling you about my life. Because I'm not telling you how you should be. I'm sharing with you how life is showing me to relate to all these things around me. And I'm asking for guidance so that what I share with you will be supported and will be, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, uh, when someone gives you a testimonial, where life will support it, where life will say, yes, what Charlotte is saying to you, what you're receiving in Sacred Space, what you're receiving in Cosmic Kitchen, that's true, because here's something else is talking to you, and it's called synchronicity. When you start awakening that life, that truth in yourself, because you're associating with situations, with people, with places, that is offering you a mirror to see that truth within yourself. It's the most wonderful place to live, because synchronicity is the language of truth. I can't order that. You're going to go away from here this morning, from these few minutes that we shared together, and you're going to go live your life. I don't know what's happening there, but something is going to be talking to you there, which will show you and validate for you everything that I share with you this morning. That's why you can trust it and you can live it, because it's true. And when it's truth sets us free. Where do you find your freedom? When you're dealing with real truth. Truth is what it's in our language. The truth liberates us. The truth sets us free. That's the only place that we can find freedom. And when you're living with truth, you accept what is, because it's true. What is the one thing that you can do for the rest of your life, whether you get paid for it or not? And don't, stay clear of jest when you do this. No funnies, no sarcastic, like, I can just eat for the rest of my life, or I can just sleep for the rest of my life, or I can just do nothing for the rest of my life. Don't go into jest with it. Be aware of your psyche. Listen, because you may just hear something profound. What are you working for at the moment? I asked you the question, why do you have a job? And in life process and gift of life, I teach you about the 4 pillars. Now be the 4 pillars. Be those 4 pillars. Be the willingness. Be the commitment. And what does it mean when you go before? Because if you go before, you hold yourself as a leader. You hold yourself as someone that's showing the way to an even better space, to an even better matter, where things can become even more, it really matters. Where we can really, when things really matter, they're things that are really sacred and special, not negative reinforcement. And when you go before, that means before. Look at the word be and a for. It means be in front. Be in front, show the way. Go before, be in front, show the way. So now, can you think of your life? Just because of all the things that you've endured, just because of all the things that life has given you to deal with, just in your own right, don't you think that you can say, I can go before and not be afraid of it? Because it's uncharted territory when you go before. It's the unknown. And then you can say, I am the way. I walk my talk. I trust my truth. I respect and I'm respected. My service and is my dignity. My delivered result rewards my worth. Give yourself the ability to become a place where everything that you do, that let's start with be, where everything that you be, where everything that you do matters. It matters because it's important. It matters because it's a secret ingredient. It matters because it's a sacred space of peace and togetherness and tranquility and all the good things that we want to feel and experience, of a satisfaction that goes beyond measure. Risk being free in spite of this reality that we are surrounded with every day, that consistently is reinforcing negative things for us. How bad it is, how bad the electricity is, how bad the service of the government is, how everything has just fallen to pieces. And please, I'm including myself because I say the same things. But then I remind myself that I can risk being free. It's a profound release and a miraculous destiny that I create for myself by just allowing myself to be free. How do I become free? I trust truth, because truth will continuously guide me. But I must be a willing participant, and I must go put myself in a space where truth can find me, where it can open the door for me, so that I can step into spaces and places that is wondrous. Wondrous, not the wondrous where they play cricket. Wondrous as in wonder. Now I know where the word wondrous comes from. I never put two and two together. Spirit, you've got such a sense of humor. There are infinite ways to experience any situation. Infinite ways. And we choose out of two. And most often when we finished with two, we left with one. And people ask me, but how do we transcend duality? Just stop choosing between two things. Give yourself more options. That is so fun. You know, I'm sitting here now and I'm wishing that I could upload this talk onto YouTube or onto what's that other thing? So people can just get it at the start of this 2022 year. It would be wonderful. We live in a new world, in a different world. There are infinite ways to experience any situation. It's what you can contribute. It's what you can contribute or what you detract from. That's it. You're either giving or you're taking. You're contributing or you're detracting. So contribute is always the plus. And it adds and it makes things more because it's what you contribute. Even if you contribute negativity, you're going to contribute more of that. And detract is when you subtract, when you take away, when you make it less. The one has got equal as much value as the other. But it's a process. It's not the only two options. So when most of the time, when you detract, when you negatively reinforce, you reduce growth and you completely eliminate satisfaction. That's all. Whereas when you contribute, the chances of this wonderful sense of bliss and satisfaction becomes far more available in your experience of matter. So let's look at your own level of where you do your life. The one thing that I can do for the rest of my life, whether I get paid or not, is what? It's service, people. You can always be in service for the rest of your life, whether you get paid for it or not. because service is our true nature. We are caring givers. That's our real purpose for being human. To change this planet and this penal colony and this slave-driven debt society that we are born into with our own energy, by changing it, by changing the way matter relates to matter. And we can only do that through consciousness, and not through being awake or being asleep or being woke or being not, or being all the labels that is attached to it, by simply realizing that my consciousness is infinite and so am I. So what I can achieve here by just using my energy and applying my energy with wisdom and with discernment and with consideration and with generosity, because that's all I'm teaching in every single thing that I do. Consideration and generosity. That's it. Because I'm telling you, when you master those two, you don't have to choose either. So, just realize that debts never ever get paid. I'm listening. Debts never ever get paid. Why do I say that? Let's look at the history of the Jewish people on the earth. Since the time of the Torah and the time of the Christian Bible and the time of the Holy Scriptures and the Great Sea Scrolls and you name it, there's a myriad, there's a myriad of writings throughout the ages that tells us of the demise of the Jews, the Jewish people. Then there's also in our own country the history of apartheid, and it was an event that happened. That's debts that just never gets paid. The Jewish concentration camps, Auschwitz, all those are debts that just never get paid. And that's how it works here. So it's debts that are carried over from generation to generation to generation. Those debts never ever get paid. And that contributes when we hold on to these debts of the past. Yes, there were atrocities, but please understand that this planet is a planet of atrocities since day one. Since day one. Since there was an option of I own this and you don't own it. Since ownership was introduced into this equation called reality, since then, debts have existed and they are maintained. There are family feuds that goes on for generations. Debts never get paid. So now, when we look at the word responsibility in terms of service, if we look at the word responsibility is always associated with some form of debt. I have to do this. I have to go there. I have to. Responsibility is always associated with debt, and debts never get paid. So if you look at the way debts never get paid, look, our country is at war again. Debts never get paid. These are debts that have been running now for generations. Between these countries and whatever they're doing. I mean, once they were part of the same country, they were part of the United States of Russia. USSR, I don't even know what that means, but anyway. So let's move on. Debts never get paid. So now when you go before and you give yourself permission to go before, then what happens when you go before? You actually step into freedom. Because if you're going to go before, you are going to be the one who's going to experience the freedom of experiencing whatever needs to experience. No one's done it before you, so you can be authentic. You can go and do your thing. You can do what you would like to do for the rest of your life, whether you get paid for it or not. Because it gives you so much pleasure. It gives you such a sense of freedom. And I'm telling you now, when you're experiencing yourself as generous and as your greatness, you will feel this freedom more and more in your life every day, irrespective of your life conditions. Because life conditions is going to become very challenging for us all. No one is going to be exempt. It doesn't matter what your material and your matter state is. So, when you go and you allow yourself to step into freedom, you do so effortlessly, because to trust truth is effortless. To trust your truth in what you know to be true. Why? Because you've lived it. Life has been talking to you through synchronicity to show you the truth. You don't have to doubt it. You know. 7 steps into living freedom effortlessly. Be the 4 pillars. Know that I am the way. Why? Because my example matters. It's of value. I am the way. I walk my talk. It's wonderful to listen to people, how they explain how considerate they are, and when it comes to me and I experience that, I don't see any consideration. Not. And that's why I call it. Because I walk my talk. If I can't call that in whom I see it, whom is associated with me, and I can't call it when I see it, what kind of a teacher am I? No. There's many like that. And I walk their talk. I worked for one for many years. I know. Teacher. But they don't walk their talk. When you look at their life and the things that's going on there, there's no walking my talk. The next one, 7 steps to freedom. I trust my truth. If you can't trust yourself that you are a good person, that you are absolutely in service, because what you do to your best ability. Doesn't matter whether you're washing the toilet. Sometimes life gives us the toilets to wash. I wash the toilets in my own home regularly. It's got to get washed. I trust my truth. Sometimes I need to wash the toilets. I am respect, and I'm respected. What is consideration other than respect in action? Have respect. My service is my divinity, because my life is my message. My life is my message. And yes, there might be many people that's angry with me, and I'm glad that they're angry with me, because perhaps they'll learn something. Because if you are not in my space, go and have a look why. Because this space is very wide and very big and very open and very welcome and very loving. Very accommodating, very patient. The next step for truth, the next step, the 7 steps to freedom, is my delivered results rewards my worth. There's nothing ambiguous about that. My delivered results rewards my worth, because when I look at the results that I deliver, I can experience my worth, because what I'm contributing to matter, what I'm contributing to this reality is of value. It's worth something. And then I can risk being free, because what I'm giving entitles me to live as a free soul, to live as a free spirit, to live as someone that can enjoy the bounty of life. Because life wants to be so good to you. But it's not going to happen the way you think. And when you risk being free of negative reinforcement, it's a profound release. And it's a miraculous destiny. And perhaps you're not going to be free of speaking these things because it's a habit. But your energy about it will change, even if you have to speak it. Sometimes we have to just get rid of it. And to get rid of something is a very good way, is to just go, just speak it. With respect for self, for others, and for life. Most of the biggest accolades today, let me just check the time. Most of the biggest accolades today on our earth is that people chase and that is present is about endurance. The greater your ability to endure, the more you are, the more you are revered for that ability. And being able to excel in endurance events is what makes people real heroes today in the eyes of people, because everyone's wearing a watch to see how much they can endure and how much they're breathing and how much they're exercising and how many steps they're taking and, how much am I enduring with this body? I don't know, just look at it. There's someone that I know well that's going to be doing the Cape Epic mountain bike event again in 2 weeks' time. It'll be the 3rd time that he's going to be doing the Cape Epic. Jesus, it's an epic achievement just to complete it once, never mind 3 times. It's exclusive, it's expensive, but it is the most grueling. It's like the Comrades Marathon. It's the most grueling thing that your body is forced to endure. And once you've endured that absolute grueling of your own capacity, you get this accolade that everybody, when you say, I've done the Cape Epic and I've completed it, everybody's mouth drops open like, huh? Not many people can say that. Because it's an endurance race. Life has become an endurance race, people. It's all about how much you can endure. Whether it's pain, whether it's abuse, whether it's suffering, whether it's, fucking misfortune, whether it's load shedding. It's all about how much you can endure. Sometimes I listen to people and they tell me about all the things that's befallen them. And I'm just listening and I'm thinking, are you making a list for yourself to see how much you can endure and how much you've endured? That's not where your source is. That's the negative reinforcement. That's not your source. That's not your soul. The emphasis in our society is on the physical body. COVID, physical body. It's what's controlling everything in our world at the moment. Matter, the physical body. And consciousness is forgotten. I've sent out nearly 40 invites for people to be here this morning. We started with 15, we're down to 30. It wasn't even possible to stay here for an hour and a half. Just to see it through. There's not much spirit left in life. There's hardly any spirit anymore in reality. What is spirit? We always used to say, catch some spirit. So when you really become alive and you become available and life is a jewel and the spirit of the place. So please, It's a wonderful thing to endure. But that's not where your worth is. The more you can endure, the more you can feel accolades and praise. Yes, there's things that's wonderful to accomplish and to achieve. But to sustain pain and go beyond the limitations of the body, fantastic. Do it in a way that's going to serve your life. When that synchronicity becomes misaligned, so when that synchronicity are misaligned, thank you, Kate. When that synchronicity are misaligned, where there's body but no spirit, when there's body but there's no spirit, and you get the other extreme as well, where there's just spirit and no body. And I call that the Bebo effect, the being and the body integrate, the Bebo effect. Where there's body but not spirit, and there's spirit but not body. What is the ideal? The ideal is to start going back to honoring equal exchange of energy, to really look at how am I sustaining this value that I'm receiving beyond matter, beyond just matter. How am I sustaining this energy beyond let me use something weird, beyond matter? How am I honoring the exchange that is taking place? Your consideration, your generosity. How considerate are you in your current reality? How considerate are you in your current reality? Just for the value, not the matter. And it's the most difficult lesson for me to teach in my school, is just to get people to honor that to go beyond the 1 + 1 is 2. But that the lesson is actually about honoring the value. The value is the energy exchanged. It's not found in matter. It's beyond. Do you feel honored? Do you feel respected for the value that you deliver? If the answer is no, go and do a stop take, review. What can I do differently? How can I share myself in a way that will be different? That I can find a way of how I can add my value. And if there's no way that value can be sustained in that environment, you have 2 feet. Vote with your feet. Leave. And to those who feel offended and indignant, that I should ask for this energy to be considered and this value, and that we need to start looking beyond. Because what is going beyond? What does it mean when you can say, I can do this whether I get paid or not? It's the service. It's the value. It's the going beyond. It's going the extra mile. It's consideration. It's support. That's what's missing in our society. And that's why things won't work. Because it's not my problem. I am willing for someone to remind me where I am amiss of keeping up with the energy that I exchange. I invited, please tell me. Please tell me if you are experiencing me in a way that makes you feel compromised, that I'm taking something from you, because let me tell you now, if I'm amiss of keeping up with my service, with what I'm giving, of course I'm not afraid to be shown truth, because it's only truth that's going to set me free. Nothing else. Now, everything else is negative reinforcement. Especially when the request comes from someone that I trust. Why would they say something to hurt me if I trust them? They're saying it to support me, to be in service of me. I value such support. To bring me in alignment with goodness, of appreciation, of honoring value. By the way, life is filled always with value. If there were no value, if there was never any value, if there were no things that were of value, there would be no growth. Growth is always associated with value. And yes, there are things that, like weeds that grow, that has no value. But the reason why weeds are there is for us to be able to do away and to remove the negative reinforcement. It also gives us a gift. Value your support by the way your life is lived in all ways. Let the same values and standards apply in all areas of your life. That is integrity. Not just selectively where you choose. I can give my best here, but not there. I'm willing to do this for this person, but not for that person. And yes, there are situations where we need to make a choice. I'm not going to run around my community and invite every person that I find on the street to come and have dinner in my house. No. I'm talking here about the basic values of trust. And we can't just trust anyone today. Life is not a place, reality is not a place of trust. Matter is not a place of trust. We need to have discernment because it's become a treacherous environment. It's treacherous because it pretends to be something that it's not. That's why we can't just trust everything, especially the internet, especially what people are offering you in meditations, etc., etc. Be aware, it's not always for your best interest. So, whenever I ask for anything, and I want you to consider this for your own life because I'm using myself as an example. Whenever I ask for anything from anyone, in any situations, I do my homework first. Because Inyanda Vasant says that there's fact and there's truth. There's fact and there's truth. Fact is reality. The reality that we live. This is a fact. This is a coffee mug, and right now there's some delicious cold coffee in here, and I'm going to take a sip. Iced coffee. Fact is reality. Truth is life itself. Truth and life is something totally different from reality. Life was here long before reality that we live today even existed. Life is not subject to a beginning, a middle, and an end. Life is eternal. Life is the cosmos. Life is hundreds of billions of trillions of light years of uncountable, uncalculable cosmoses. There's no ways that it can be determined. That's life. Truth is life itself. When I ask, when I share, when I give, when I feel it, it's from a place of what I know to be true for me. And when we're dealing with truth, it doesn't have a time or a space. It's ageless. Because truth validates, because your divinity is at your service with grace, and grace is everlasting. It's not just by empty words. I live by them. And if there is anyone who can be offended by divine service, then let them be. Really, it's okay. For they have a journey to walk as I do. They have a journey to walk as you do. And some will walk their journeys, and perhaps some journeys are not meant to be shared. That's also what is. We can't all be on the same journey. There's a whole cosmos that we want to go and explore. But the one journey that we all share is truth, because truth is consensus. So start today and live as if it's the last day of your life. Because let's get real. It can be. We're sitting with a whole lot of people that are in charge of red buttons that pushes the most vicious and the most destructive bombs that destroys not just cities but countries in 1 second. When that thing explodes, that's 1 second and everything is gone. That's the state in which the world is. Some crazy men who can push with this finger, with a finger, cancel that thought, a button that can delete the planet as we know it. Live today as if it's the last day of your life. Because it may be. And that's not fatalist. It's a reality. This flesh. But know that you as a consciousness will continue. What are you investing in that which is going to continue? Know thyself. It's not just an hour or 2 hours a month. Look at your investment into that part of you that's going to continue beyond the matter. Beyond buying another cup or another car or another pair of sneakers that's going to cost you a couple of grand or more these days. 5, 6 grand's nothing. Start today. For in the times that we now live, we must refuse complacency. Complacency is a space where we're taking privilege and appreciation for granted. We take it for granted because it's just there. We don't have to contribute to it. We don't have to generate it. We don't have to nurture it like you nurtured the soles of your feet today. You just take it for granted. You don't have to care about it. It's going to be there tomorrow. No, it doesn't work like that anymore. If you're not going to take care of that which is giving you value in your life, it may not be there anymore tomorrow. A lot of things in our life that we're taking for granted now is not going to be there tomorrow, people. If you can't see it happening already, then you are blind. Be the one to inspire with cheer, with being available, with being appreciation for every moment that you live. To appreciate the good things that life offers you, to appreciate the smallest thing. Just let that appreciation radiate through your presence, through your beingness, in everything you do. Number one, number two, whatever. If you want to go into negative reinforcement, appreciate the fact that that's what you're busy doing. Appreciate it, value it. Because if you don't give it value, it cannot grow. It cannot be more. It's going to detract. It's going to reverse. It's going to take you further away from where you want to go. Who you want to be. The freedom that you want to experience in your spirit. You're a free spirit. Consciousness is free. You can go anywhere in your consciousness, anywhere in the cosmos. It's scientifically proven. It's no woo-woo. There's scientific papers written on that. If you listen to Dr. Greg Braden, he explains it beautifully. What you want to hold on to is not available to hold on to anymore. I'm saying to you that again. What you want to hold on to is not available to hold on to anymore. The memory of who you are is not what it means to remember. The memory of who you are is not what it means to remember. Remember. Make yourself whole again. Start with the soles of your feet. Start with your soul at the bottom. Your feet's at the bottom. The soul is at the bottom. Not up there somewhere that you have to reach for and you can never make it. It's the thing that's the source. It's at the bottom. It's right at the bottom. Make yourself whole again. Not me more wise, not me more wise. Why? The more you ask why, the more you negatively reinforcing what you think you don't have. It's not about the matter. Some have nothing. And I've been asking myself all those questions of lately. Everything just felt impossible. Impossible. And I know, logically, the word impossible spells impossible. But excuse me, I'm telling you, I didn't feel possible at all. Bye, Annie. So I'll send you the recording. You won't miss anything. So Muji says, it's not won't power. Won't power is born from why. Muji calls it won't power. Isn't that amazing? And for me, won't power is born from all the whys. Why can't I have that? Why is it too late? Why have I waited so long? Why didn't I do anything? Why didn't I think about it? Why? As opposed to willingness. Won't power as opposed to willpower. Willpower is born from source. What is the source? The soles of your feet, because that's how you move. Through your soles of your feet. It has to touch the ground so that you can take one step after then another. And whether you're in the water and whether you are running and whether you are crawling, one step at a time. And today, a lot of things can fall off of you. Fall off, just like they can fall off of you and never come back. So put it down and return to source with dignity and respect for who you are. That's it. Just put it down. And now I'm inviting you. We've got a few moments left before it's past. That's my word. It's from 10 to past. And review what you've received for yourself this morning. What have you received for yourself? What have you learned? What have you realized? What do you now see? Because the seeing is the real eyes. What did you realize? What did you realize? What did you see for your life? Oh, now I can see that. Oh, now I can see that. Oh, now I realize that. Oh, I never thought about it like that. What do you now see? What do you realize? Making reality more bearable and more endurable. Because it's an endurance race for everyone in their own way. Whether you choose to do marathons and triathlons and you know, I don't know, deep sea crossings, and people do all kinds of things these days. They jump in bodysuits from huge buildings. What do you do to make reality more bearable and more endurable in your life going forward? That's all. That's the question. What can I do today? If I think of today as being the only day that I have to live, how would I live it? How would I treat myself? And how good will I be to myself? And how good a person will I be in terms of the value that I want my service to represent? So go be very good to yourself. Thank you so much for your attention and your presence this morning, and for sharing this space with me. Those of you that are still present, I'm going to stop the recording now.